From today's installment of Government Accountability Series, this is News Today and a quick update. Now, I'm Emefa Akosiadeti, Deputy Director General of the National Service Authority. Gifty Oware-Mensah has been granted 10 million cedis bail after pleading not guilty to multiple criminal charges filed against her in connection with the alleged 38 million Ghana cedis ghosting scandal. She was arraigned alongside other former officials accused of conspiring to inflate the number of service personnel and divert funds meant for their allowances. The charges include stealing, willfully causing financial loss to the Republic, using public office for profit, and money laundering. Prosecutors say the accused persons created and maintained thousands of fictitious service personnel on the national service payroll, leading to the alleged loss of tens of millions of cedis to the state. Mrs. Oware-Mensah has, however, denied any wrongdoings, insisting she acted in accordance with her official duties. Well, the Attorney General, who's been speaking at the Government Accountability Series at the Jubilee House, has been giving some updates on investigations into the scandal.
Being prepared against the rest of the public officers and the so-called marketplace vendors. In all, we intend to file about 10 cases in the NSA scandal and will use some of the public officers and vendors as prosecution witnesses. Now, this is a strategy that is working very well for us, and we intend to continue to use that strategy. In a situation where there is a small criminal among big criminals, and the small criminal knows a lot, it is better as a matter of prosecutorial strategy to use a small criminal to get the information in order to be able to succeed, and that is what I'm doing. Also, I wish to announce that the Auditor General has conducted a forensic audit into the NSA, the National Service scandal, and the total amount of money stolen or illegally spent now stands at 2.2 billion, and not the 548 million that was uncovered by my investigators as at June 2025. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I have here a copy of the Auditor General's report. Again, painstaking investigation is very important in criminal matters. And so, based upon what the Auditor General has done, and this is a forensic audit, okay? Forensic audit means that they've gone beyond what ordinary, auditing would have done. And so, we are going to, based upon this, in some cases, change the charge, amend our charge sheet in order to bring fresh charges.
I'll bring you more of this particular story in our subsequent bulletins. Away from that, Minority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin has accused the government of operating in a vacuum, failing to present its major economic policies to Parliament for scrutiny. Flagship programs like the 24-hour economy coders program and a Jumira program have been singled out for lacking proper oversight, raising concerns about transparency and accountability. He was speaking at the leader's media briefing in Parliament a while ago.
First, government has failed to furnish Parliament with program documents for the flagship programs it has so far launched. It will be recalled that since the swearing-in, Parliament has approved billions of Ghana cedis for various ministries, ostensibly to execute programs. Mr. President has gone ahead to launch these programs at various events across the country. Sadly, to date, none of the programs has been presented to Parliament to enable us properly commence the task of oversight. The 24-hour economy program, the 1 million coders program, the Agri for Economic Transformation program, the program to export labor as announced by the President, and the National Apprenticeship Program, just to mention a few, have all not seen parliamentary scrutiny. Meanwhile, these programs are supposed to be executed with funds approved by Parliament. So the reason why Parliament is being kept in the dark can better be explained by the Executive.
Well, the Majority Leader, Mahama Yariga, who was seated right next to the Minority Leader, provided a swift response challenging the claims.
And they debated the economic policy document sector by sector. Then they are members of the various committees, and all those committees took the sector-by-sector policy documents, analyzed them at committee retreats, invited all the agencies, and the agencies appeared before them and explained each and every one of those policy measures. A lot of these policy measures were already captured in our national campaign manifesto, if you recall. And you journalists quizzed us, we explained those policy measures in the national campaign that took place in December 2024. Then our first budget came, and in the budget policy document, we captured the same policies. And then we budgeted for it. We brought it to this house. His members had the opportunity to scrutinize the policy document, debated it, and we all approved the policy documents in the chamber. Then the figures, the estimates for implementing those policies were brought to us. We debated the estimates again and approved them. So I'm surprised that this morning he'll come and say that no policy document on any of those programs have been brought to Parliament. So fact check one, what you have said is not true. Then let me also indicate that I'll be surprised that as a former majority leader and leader of government business, you will say that the ministers have failed to come and tell us anything about those programs and policies. Because the tools for getting them to come and brief you on the policies are in your hands.
Now, health workers in Agona East and West are warning of a looming outbreak of waterborne diseases such as typhoid and cholera as residents are forced to rely on polluted water following the shutdown of the Kwenyako headworks 2 months ago due to illegal mining. Some clinics now buy sachet water just to treat patients and clean their wards. In the second episode of Dear Mahama, Stop Galamsey, we'll tell you how Galamsey is crippling health facilities and putting lives at risk in Kwenyako and Kwesitri in the central region.
2 months ago, the Kwenyako headworks was shut down. As at September 2025, turbidity levels had soared to 94,800 NTU, nearly 190 times the safe level. The closure left 10 districts in the central region without water. Today, health workers fear a looming outbreak of waterborne diseases.
At times, we have to instead of them to have a start dose here, we ask them to take it at home because there is no water.
Maureen Eje Dansoa is the nurse in charge at the Kwesitri Chips compound in the Agona East district. These days, her hardest task is not treating the sick. It is finding water to keep the clinic running.
It's been very difficult. There is a nearby town. That's where we get our source of water. Because it's a borehole, it's free, but you have to pay for the motor, TNT. So actually, they will take at least 20 cedis. So if you have 1 gallon, it means you are paying 1 gallon for 20 Ghana cedis. So it means if the person is going for maybe 2 or 3, more than 3 times, it means you are paying 60 Ghana cedis. And it's been very difficult. Yeah.
With the facility's borehole broken, Maureen must trek to nearby towns with gallons or pay motorcycle riders, draining her own salary to keep the clinic open.
Yes, from my own pockets. Yes, please, from my own pockets. Nobody is paying.
The entire Kwesitri community now depends on the Ofapon, a dark, stagnant pool of water shared with animals. For hundreds of families, this pond is their only lifeline. Maureen fears that this same water, polluted and smelly, could soon turn their daily struggles into a full-blown health crisis. Already, she says cases are appearing.
Definitely, there's going to be an outbreak of cholera. After maybe the case has been resolved, there's going to be an outbreak of cholera. Yeah. And it has even started. I think last week we have diarrhea cases. Yeah. The back of the water is acids. They can't afford it. So the water they fetch from the streams and the bowl, that's what they have been taking. Yeah. So it's going to have a huge impact on after the case is being resolved. Yeah.
Well, cheap compound. O sanke yinsu ho. Obotu nsumaya esanke yisani nano nsu na say enti yinsu oyarfu bi kra beda ho a this ekoto pure water and as we say that man.
Oh, we can say we are pleading. We are pleading. At least if NGO or government, they should come to our aid.
Just a few kilometers away in Nyakrum, in the Agona West municipality, the story is no different. Here, residents now draw their water from the Accra River, dark tea colored, polluted, and contaminated by human activities.
I hide Kwanyako na ye depend. But Zizia na Galamsey for ye. What sense no way tiffy. And just a Galamsey fight no. Why you want sir Ghana water. And they no say Eba say what the Sikaba mo way in sooner. Eba fine. I'm still one jay or honti. They be and just a Sikam more, I see in Suyenum. And they are buying just all you know say or Kutia Galamsey no way tiffy.
At the Nyakrum Health Center, Senior Physician Assistant and Head of the facility, Florence Mavis Odom, confronts the human cause of the water crisis. Her facility's borehole still runs, but the community's dependence on the polluted Accra River is now reflected in her case files.
Roughly in a month, we can say that about 10, 15, 20, depends. Yeah, once a while the typhoid, they report.
Flores warns that poor sanitation and unsafe water are making the people sick.
The water issue, because now the river, how it's being handled. You know, people go in, throw dust, rubbish and other things, dump rubbish, other pieces and other things. So I think last week, due to this, the assembly and then the municipal health directorates came around to distribute aquatap to purify the water that they use. It's not easy. We had it far, but it's just close to us and see what we are just facing today. So it still boils down to the government looking at it. If there are ways of getting rid of it totally, because I think people tried and they've lost their lives, but we still have to work at it, else Ghana will be in a great mess.
Health centers are surviving on sachet water, while communities drink from polluted rivers. In Kwesichikrom and Nyakrom, the fear of a full-blown health crisis grew more intense each day. Cholera, typhoid, and diarrhea are no longer distant threats. They are knocking at doors. If this is not an emergency, Mr. President, what is it? Emmanuel Jivenu, JoyNews, Central Region.
Now, residents of Esionkoma in the Bosomtwe district of the Ashanti region are living in fear as illegal miners take over the community's basic school facility and health center. According to community members, the miners have not only encroached or buffered the land reserved for both facilities, but have also dug huge holes near these critical infrastructure. There's more in this report.
Residents describe the situation as dire, fearing they might lose both the school and health center due to the mining activities. Assembly member of Kokumba electoral area, Stephen Abrokwa, says the invasion started 2 months ago, but his efforts to stop the onslaught have been futile.
who ye no etu hwana mo ebe stop mo first one
months ago they came to stop them, but they returned. I informed the local traditional leaders, but I do not know what happened thereafter.
Say ana juma say na ekoso ewa ha ema nanamu etu anamo bai ema yesa akoi sa ba biem say etu anamo me hu de kosi biem na machine no ese ya juma wa hanom ma mitu anamo ekomi lu DC honum ko bona man say sei ena ekoso mikru na bia juma na ekono eko mi school ese ko health facility ehun ti no mi ntu anamo emfa hu ti mi wura ampunity otu anamo bai ebe sa mo machines no e de bi koi kwansini be na otwe echi hu na machine asaba ese ya juma.
According to the assembly member, an anti-Galamsey task force has been to the community to seize some mining equipment, but the illegal miners have not stopped their activities. According to him, the health center is also under threat, with the miners' activities taking the operations close to the premises.
Say abamla no meyemwa say yemofla no eben ha aban ameyemwa no wankata so amaya.
We need government intervention. Our kids are close to these sites, endangering their lives. Community members expressed their frustration over the perceived failure of authorities to address the situation despite several complaints. They are now calling on the Regional Security Council to urgently intervene and stop the illegal mining activities. We fear for our children. We don't want to experience any mayhem here. It is precarious.
Because I didn't say to far school nasi. And muju kura. It's a new say feet no. At least I can 20 feet. Now I drew honum and I 30 kura.
Joseph Obien's report for Joy News.
You're watching News Today. Please stay for business.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the business segment on Joy News Today with me, Pius Kojobaka. Deputy Director in charge of Corporate Affairs at the Ghana Tourism Authority, Kofi Ataka-Krakusi, has reiterated government's commitment to promote locally made crafts and artifacts as part of its Black Star Experience concept. Speaking at the opening of the Accra Arts and Craft Market, an initiative to promote locally made handicrafts, Mr. Kusi stated that government will support local vendors to venture into new markets.
Arrival of 1.8 million tourists in 2024, Ghana's tourism sector contributed approximately 5% to the national economy. Government says it is poised to expand the sector through the Black Star Experience, which includes initiatives such as the Accra Art and Crafts Market, an exhibition aimed at promoting locally made handicrafts. Speaking at the official opening of the initiative, Kofi Ataka-Krakusi, Deputy Director in charge of Corporate Affairs at the Ghana Tourism Authority, reaffirmed government's commitment to support initiatives across the tourism value chain.
We have aesthetics. The aesthetics aspect is where the arts and craft market comes in, where we are looking at increasing and promoting and then making sure that we market the arts and crafts, and then also see to the realization of the fact that they are able to make an impact in terms of job creation, in terms of foreign exchange, in terms of employment, and then also even creating that national cohesion, national and international cohesion.
Adnan Mohammed, convener for the initiative, detailed the rationale behind the exhibition.
We set this up to encourage the use and purchase of Ghanaian or African-made products. So, in essence, this is what we are trying to do. We start from the very small stage or intermediary, you join us, you grow to the stage where you go into export and become bigger and bigger.
He called for government support to enable local producers access foreign markets.
Business for now. I am Pius Kojobaka. There will be more business news on top of the hour with me, Pius Kojobaka, coming your way with the marketplace. Pause next.